All right, so a little bit different kind of episode this week. We are doing audio only. A good buddy of mine, Noah Mott, is on his way out to Wyoming, and he's going to be chasing pronghorn this next week. So, really just appreciate you guys jumping on here. As always, like, subscribe, leave some comments, do whatever you got to do, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Something kind of completely different for us whitetail hunters here in the state of Wisconsin. But this week, Noah joins us. He has been looking forward to this trip for over a year now, and kind of dive into the anticipation, the excitement, the expectations that he has, all of the prep work that he's been doing, whether that's e-scouting or slinging arrows or doing whatever it might be. But super excited to have him on. But before we jump into that conversation, I just want to give a quick plug for our sponsors. As always, Charisma Customs, we really appreciate you guys. They actually are having their car show coming up here in a couple weeks, September 19th, where last year they had about $40 million worth of cars that were there. Super cool. Everything from exotics, imports, luxury, domestics, everything and anything under the sun will be there. But if you are getting prepped to go out into the woods this fall and you're going to be getting into some trees, you're going to be getting into some brush hanging over trails, I cannot tell you what a game changer having paint protection film is on your truck or ATV. It will, A, protect it from UV damage, B, it'll protect it from scrapes, chips, rocks, anything that comes across your side or front end of your vehicle, or ATV, UTV. And honestly, just a worthwhile investment because they are not cheap these days. $75,000 for a new pickup truck or $40,000 for an ATV, UTV side by side. Spend a couple extra bucks and just get that all taken care of, coated, protected, and stress-free for years to come. So, and then of course, HHA USA, super excited to be a partner with those guys again this year. And we have our last event next week up in Green Bay. It'll be the final for this year of their 4 events that they've been doing. And Chris Ham and the team, we're trying to find more first responders, more veterans that have been exposed to trauma and need a healthy outlet to be able to recover from that and to de-stress and to check out for a little bit in a healthy way and to bring bonds together. But it's a really cool thing that HHA USA is doing. And I hope that you'll kind of pay attention, follow their page, like their page, see everything that they have going on. And if you are interested, there is still opportunities to be a part of the open public shoot next Saturday, which would be I actually don't even know. I think it's the 22nd. So the 22nd up in the Green Bay area. But check out their website for everything else that you might need with that. All of the details, all of the information, hhausa.org. And then finally, for Physis, who is our seed partner for this year, we just got done tilling everything yesterday. Walked around with the hand seeder yesterday, the little like over the shoulder bag seeder. And what do you know? We just got some rain this morning. So I think we couldn't have been in a better position to kind of get that all laid down. Really looking forward to seeing what is going to come up from that. And we worked with Jared Mills on that. He gave us some recommendations as to what to plant and where. And we're just so happy to be working with those guys. A quality seed that's been tested all the way north to south in the United States for foliage, for durability, for strength of growing. And it's just nice to know that we've got something that has been tested and trusted by some of the industry's best whitetail hunters. So Physis Seed, go check them out. Follow along. We're going to put together a really cool video of planting and kind of getting everything put together there. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing how that comes together. But that's it for now. Let's jump into the show. And up next is Noah Mott on his way out to Wyoming.
In Wisconsin, the stories start before sunrise. They start in a deer stand, in a duck blind, on the front deck of a bass boat. Welcome to the Flippin Sticks Throwin Lead podcast. With your hosts, Eric Tasker and former Major League pitcher Paul Wagner, this is everything outdoors. Hunting, fishing, conservation. The wins, the misses, and the memories that stick with you for a lifetime. Out here, you earn your stories, and we're here to tell them.
All right, here we go. It is a different version of the Flippin Sticks Throwin Lead podcast this week. As I mentioned in the intro, Wags is gone, so I called in a favor to one of my buddies who, let's just say, has a couple hours of free time on his hands. A buddy of mine, Noah Mott, he is on his way to Wyoming right now, and I figured, you know what, you got some windshield time. Why don't we jump in the studio, knock out our show for this week, and talk a little bit about what your next couple days are going to look like. So, first of all, Noah, man, you're a league partner, but you're also a friend. I feel like it was bound to happen eventually. Welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Hey, man. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure. Really appreciate the opportunity. You guys have been doing great work. You've had some great guests on, so it's an honor to be here, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey, man, well, we only bring in the best. So, Patty and Rez and all those guys, they're not invited today. You're the man. You've got the story to tell us. So, before we jump into all of that, why don't we just first start? How long have you, give me your background, give me the elevator pitch on Noah, and when did you start hunting? How long have you been doing it? Favorite species, some of that stuff.
Yeah, man. Born and raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I don't have too different of a story from a lot of hunters in the area. By my guess bet, by my guess, by my best guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, man, started in the fields, cornfields, alfalfa fields, really hunting waterfowl, ducks, geese.
Okay.
My dad had bird dogs growing up, so spent a lot of time in the tall grass chasing pheasants. Got in the deer stands as a youngster. Just started to get hooked on the woods.
Yeah.
Turkey season is one of my favorites. The interaction with the birds is an absolute blast. And yeah, I mean, one of my buddies reached out at the latter half of last year, and he had an opportunity, a few spots open to go out to Wyoming to hunt some pronghorn. With me being in Wisconsin my entire life, I've never hunted out west. I got one buddy out there who's been into it for a while. He's posted pictures of mule deer, elk, all that stuff. So at the first opportunity I got to go out west, I had to jump on it. So just about three quarters of the way into the trip out to Wyoming, man. It's gonna be a fun weekend. We
Yeah.
got the opener on Saturday.
Nice. So you are there for the opener. That
Yeah.
is pretty sweet to be able to do that. So you'll get out there this afternoon. You'll have tomorrow to get settled in, probably fling a couple arrows, and then is the plan to just jump in, start doing some scouting, or prior to the opener, what's your plan once you get out there?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, I've done a ton of e-scouting,
Yeah,
and
you're pretty
shout
good
out
at that.
shout out to Onyx and Spartan Forge. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
tried Spartan Forge yet, but it's gold, man. So,
Yeah.
this portion of Wyoming, it's Hunt Area 3. So,
Okay.
Hunt Area 3 has a border of about 75 miles, which equates to 350-ish square miles inside of that. And it's predominantly private land. So there are parcels of BLM mixed in there. There's parcels of state land, but this portion of Wyoming is predominantly private. So we're going to be on a ranch. The ranch is just about somewhere between I think it's 5,000 and 6,000 acres. Cattle ranchers, there's a portion of BLM locked in there. But really, man, this early in August, this early in the season, from what I've been reading about and researching is water. This
Okay.
portion of Wyoming since January 1st has received just shy of 6 inches of water.
Oh, and we thought it was
So,
bad in Wisconsin this summer.
yeah.
Holy cow.
So when you say drought, man, like this is the epitome of that. So when when we think about where pronghorn frequent this time of year, it's a water source and food source. They're not necessarily rutted up yet. Although we have heard some rumblings of some bucks kind of sparring here and there. They're probably checking scrape lines, making sure they know where the does are bedded for the rut. Really kind of
Yeah.
early September to mid-September, the rut truly kicks off out there. So our plan, get in, glass tonight a little bit, and then tomorrow really kind of fixate on where the water sources are being frequented and get some blinds on the ground. Spot and stalk this early in the season is a definite possibility. Your odds do go down a little bit. But luckily for us, it's not going to be 96 to 100 degrees like it has been the last few weeks. The temperature is actually going to be upper 70s, lower 80s. So I don't know what that's going to do to the pronghorn movement. If that's going to allow them to get a little more mobile. If it wasn't as hot, I'm pretty sure they're a mobile mammal to begin with. So are they not going to come to water as frequent as they were when it was hot? I don't know. So hoping the weather helps us. Not sure if it's going to hurt us or help us, but really over the next 24 hours is nailing down frequent water holes and some potential scrape lines we can spot and stalk in.
Yeah. Which, of course, makes sense. I mean, right now, even for all of us, we're in advance of our whitetail season, but we're thinking about all those things. We just did our food plots this week. We're worried about where are we going to put water holes? Like, how do we kind of situate that? Um, it's just such a critical thing. And when they're especially short on water, it's not like they have their natural access that they normally would have, ponds or springs or creeks or whatever that might be, that they're once they find it, I mean, they can be hooked on that right away, which is kind of nice because if you figure out which one of those water sources they're going to, and hopefully you just prop yourself up there, you sling one.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, if we think about a whitetail, like the summer pattern is a huge deal for the opener, right? That's
Yeah.
that's what that's what we fixate on all summer is what they're doing leading up to the opener. And if you think about pronghorn on private land that large and how dry it's been, if we can fixate in on those points of frequency, whether it be travel corridors, bedding areas, or simply just a water source,
Yeah.
it'll allow us those opportunities. And, at the end of the day, uh, above the land we're hunting is a reservoir, and it's the Keyhole Reservoir, so it's the largest in the area, and
Okay.
it feeds down into the property and the surrounding areas, basically into this basin.
Sure.
So there's a lot of creek beds, eroded creek beds, and some areas that we can potentially utilize to our advantage of the landscape to, if we want to get mobile, we could have the opportunity to.
You can. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna just take a step back here. So you had a buddy that had reached out to you or that you had talked to, ran into, whatever, told you about this opportunity. So was this always something that was kind of on your bucket list, or was it just like, here's an opportunity, it works out, timing is great, everything's kind of lining up, I'm going to take advantage of this year, or was it something that you had been thinking about, for a long time? And I mean, we all think about chasing elk and
Yeah.
muleys and some of that stuff, but like, was pronghorn or Wyoming specifically something you were looking to get into, or was it just, circumstantial that, hey, this is an opportunity I'm faced with. I'm going to take advantage of this while I can. What side do you kind of lean on that?
Yeah, pronghorns kind of came up out of nowhere,
Ooh,
and
1 second, I
the
lost you there for a second. Can you just start that over?
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. Sorry, I got a call there, but yeah, so pronghorn, man, it was not on the radar, to be honest with you. Growing up in Wisconsin, it's like you see them, they're
On
pretty
TV.
weird looking. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty weird looking. They got the googly eyes. I think their field of vision is like 300 degrees. It's like, how
Oh, that's
without a
so
rifle
crazy.
are you gonna hunt this thing?
Yeah.
Living out of
You
a
jump
tree
on its
stand my
back, I
entire
guess. I don't know.
wrangle it, but no, man, came up. The situation really was perfect timing, perfect opportunity. Get out west, get out in a new environment. As somebody that's always chasing adventure, it was really just an opportunity I couldn't pass up at the end of the day.
For sure. Yeah. What I love most about this is that, we shot 3D League last winter,
Yep.
which was so nice because it's like usually after the season everybody just puts their bows down, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm thinking about maybe chasing turkeys with my bow, so maybe I should shoot a little bit. But this actually like keeps you kind of fine tuned for the majority of that, like, quote unquote, off season. And there's, of course, a pronghorn target at buck rub, and it always felt like there was just like, it was always in a bad spot. It was never a clear shot. You were like just shooting over the back of another animal. But it was fun because I knew that that target meant something different to you compared to everybody else, having this already on the books for next year. So it was 9 months in advance, or 8 months, 6 months in advance. But did you feel a little bit of that? Like, this is a different target because it's actually something I'm chasing this year, as opposed to, like, of course, we shoot at whitetail targets and all that stuff. But did it feel a little bit different, or was it just kind of like an optimism thing of like, okay, well, I made a good shot on it. Okay, another week goes by, made a good shot on it. Did any of that play into your mind as we were going through league?
Yeah. So there's 32 targets there, right? I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken on that.
Yep.
That target followed me when I left. It arrived in my head when I'd pull into that place.
Yeah.
That target meant more to me than anything else. And why is because of the amount of videos I've watched and the amount of movement that these
Sure.
pronghorn have as soon as that string goes off. And the proximity of the shot is nothing like a whitetail.
Sure.
I mean, you're lucky to be within 50. I've watched a ton of videos, and the amount of shots within 40 is I could probably count on one hand.
Yeah.
So knowing that, and knowing they jumped a string, knowing that they're a smaller animal, just reduces your odds at the end of the day. So going into league, knowing that target was there, it was always on my mind this summer. I've taken the approach of quality over quantity in terms of the amount of shooting I've done. So
Sure.
I try and shoot 4 times a week, but I'm not shooting 100 arrows. I'm
Sure.
not slinging 70 arrows. I'm not a guy that goes to the driving range at the golf course and gets an extra large bucket and hopes that I figure stuff out. It's like I'm going to sling 20 to 40 arrows, and I'm going to make sure that my anchor points are on point. I'm going to make sure that my form, my elbow's good. I'm gonna focus on my release. A few weeks ago, I went to buy some more arrows. I was shooting Easton Axis, 4 millimeter, really, really good arrow, but price point was high. The gal at the shop talked me into actually what you shoot,
Yep.
Carbon Express. So, probably against the grain here, I switched up my arrows within a month of leaving for this.
Yeah.
I was on the fence about it, but at the price point and the kinetic energy I was getting from a lighter arrow with
Mhm.
a 400 spine instead of 350 really kind of just came down to the speed. And I
Sure.
increased my speed. My kinetic energy at impact was the exact same. It was a lighter arrow. And when we're talking about if we go back to string jumping, if we go back to how touchy these animals are, if I could gain 22 to 25 feet per second at 50 yards, that's a world of difference. So like
Big time.
all this preparation, all this sort of mindset shift from a 20-yard shot on a whitetail was a fun adventure for me. It was a fun adventure to dive into really what it means to shoot an arrow from 20 yards out to 50, 50 out to 60, 60 out
Sure.
to 70, and understand what it's doing and what you can do to really impact, at least give you the best shot at a good impact arrow, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Noah, that's music to my ears. A, I'm a Carbon Express fan, but B, I'm a light arrow speed kills guy.
You
So
are.
it's funny to hear that. I mean, it's like everybody's got their preference, but the thing is you get into something that makes you confident and you can just like take it from there whichever way you want to go. Cuz I say this time and time again, there is nothing better in preparation for the season than just having confidence in your setup. Like just shooting arrows, feeling comfortable. Like if you get to the point where you know I'm going to shoot this arrow, I've shot enough at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 that I know where this is going to go and that like you just have confidence in what you're doing, it makes such a big difference, because it's like, oh, well, maybe I wouldn't take that shot, or maybe I should have taken that shot and I didn't. But all of that going into it. And when you go into it, just knowing, look, man, I've shot 160 shots through this setup. I feel really good about it. It's just got to help going into that, 50-yard territory because that's realistically what you're looking at. Um, Brave of you, Noah, to make that switch, but I think you've got enough arrows through it over the course of the last couple weeks that I can't imagine that would shake your confidence in any way.
Yeah, I mean we're talking between probably five and 600 arrows over the last 4 to 5 weeks. So
Yeah,
back to your point though, it's like as a beginner, what I thought was the right thing to do was sling as many arrows as I can, and to an extent, it helped me. I'm
yeah,
drawing back 70 pounds. I'm getting used to pulling back, anchoring for a long time, going through my breath work, all that good stuff. But
sure.
when you really think about, for me, what I thought about was if I can hone in on my consistency at a quality pace of reps, I see more progress and I see more efficiency.
For
So that
sure.
was a big thing for me this summer. And honestly, I think it's going to help me, you know, shooting 20, 25 yards at a whitetail here come fall.
Yeah, yeah. Because uh, and a couple things with that. I mean, I think that the volume side of it can be very beneficial to somebody who has never done it, or maybe their confidence has been shaken because they hit and wounded an animal. I mean, that's how I was a couple years ago, where I had went through like 2 years or 3 out of 4 years where I had hit nice whitetails and either my shot placement was back or whatever it was, and I was just like, you know what, this is a year that I'm going to shoot more arrows than I ever have. I'm going to build my confidence back to the point where I know whatever situation I'm in, if I draw back, I'm killing that animal. I can't like stomach putting a bad shot on a deer again, and it was all for lack of preparation on my end. But after you get to the point of like knowing that you feel good about it, knowing your setup, having that confidence, I think that's when you transition to the quality reps over quantity reps, because you want to put yourself in like, okay, I'm going to just walk out to 47 yards, like a random distance. It could be 22 or 47, whatever. Knowing that when you put yourself in that spot, it's like, hey, it's just another day at the range. I just need to go through all the motions, pull back, draw, breathe, all that, and knowing that you've got the confidence. So I think you're exactly right with that, that it can easily feel like it has to be a volume thing. And for different stages and different people, maybe that's the way that they build their confidence. But, and I mean, it takes time, and it's like, who's got time these days? So,
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm curious though, Task. Did you notice a difference in your accuracy when you were shooting at volume versus shooting at quality reps?
not really. Not really. I would say that it was pretty comparable, which is, I guess, the answer you want to hear.
Right.
Um, because whether you're shooting a ton or you're shooting fewer in different scenarios, we'll say, you just want to know that when you go out, because the reality is for all of us, like when we're at deer camp, we wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, we're not shooting reps before we go out. So to know that you can just pick up and sling one and be in a good spot, I mean, it certainly helps, but I didn't. Did you have you noticed a difference?
So one thing that I've sort of fallen into is noticing how my first arrow flies of the day. Because
Okay.
to your point right there, when I wake up Saturday morning at 3:30, 4 a.m. to head out to the watering hole, I'm not going to shine a spotlight on a target 60 yards out there and
And
sling one
try
to
and
see
shoot.
how I'm feeling.
Right.
So that's what I've honed in on, is like picking up my bow and having those first 5 arrows fly the way I want them to, have my form the way that I've been practicing, the muscles relaxed in my shoulder that I focus on. It's
Yep.
like that in the moment, I shouldn't think about any of that. I just want it to be muscle memory. So that's where, for me, I definitely saw a difference.
Yeah.
Was, sometimes that league when I'd show up, for example, and that I think our farthest target there is 40 yards, so it's
Yeah.
not super far, but I don't know if you recall that moose shot, the
Yep.
farthest one that we have. Whenever we'd start on that one always meant a little more to me because I knew I was coming out here and going to be shooting at farther distances. So when I'd have that moose shot be the first one of the day, I always wanted it to count because I knew that's potentially what I'm going to be facing out here. So to your point, yeah, if you're consistent from high volume to low, that's amazing. For me, I think the quality, lower shots, but higher quality, higher focus, higher consistency. I did see an increase in accuracy, which for everyone is different, right?
Right. And like I said, I think it's I think it's a uh maybe not the right word for it, but like a maturity thing of like, where are you in your archery experience? Like, do you
Right.
need to gain your confidence, or are you just trying to refine some things? Or maybe you got a new release and you're just trying to build up some confidence, and so you're only shooting 20 arrows at a time and just making sure that those count. um okay, I don't know the answer to this. Are you just bringing your bow, or do you have bow and gun?
So I brought the old 6.5 Creedmoor out here in some
Okay.
hopes to chase some coyotes.
Yeah.
Got the gun luckily from a Ducks Unlimited raffle.
Nice.
It's got a sweet camo print on it. Really excited to use it. The amount of coyotes in the state of Wyoming compared to Wisconsin, Task, I think they have, I mean, they can't track it 100%
Sure.
accurately, but I want to say it's somewhere around 80,000 in Wyoming, and in
Okay.
Wisconsin the last time I looked it was around 20,000. Don't
Oh,
quote me on
wow.
it, but that's what these cattle ranchers are dealing with out there.
Sure.
So I've kind of marked some spots, some public, some private. There's actually a program that Wyoming puts on. Ranchers can submit their properties for certain wildlife to be killed, including elk, pronghorn, muleys, and coyotes.
Okay.
But one fun thing that the western states have that Wisconsin doesn't is a little something called a prairie dog.
Yeah.
And those prairie dogs give those cattle some trouble when they burrow those holes. So, yeah, excited to hopefully get a pronghorn in the dirt and then go after some critters out there as well.
Yeah. That's super fun though. I wasn't sure if you were going to bring the gun or not, but then I do remember you saying something about that where there would be a chance to do something with predators and just other, other animals that you could take with a gun.
Yeah,
Um,
man, I'm excited.
yeah, that's so awesome. And you know what? Let's hope that this story is written that you shoot one the opening morning and you can just do whatever you feel like after that.
That's the dream, man.
Right?
I've gotten lucky on opening mornings before, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the best here. But I've also watched enough film tests to know that guys have been chasing these for days without luck.
Yeah.
And it can get a little hairy out there when you're trying to chase these antelopes. So we'll see.
Yeah, but how exciting though, just going out. I mean, you're feeling the vibes that everybody here is going to be feeling in, oh, look at that, exactly 1 month from today,
Yes, sir.
that you don't know what's going to happen. You're not really sure what you're in for. And it could come together on the first day and kind of go from there. But man, I'm so excited to live through you on this trip that I mean, just totally different terrain, totally different scenarios. I mean, completely different than what we're used to here in Wisconsin. So, um, I know we'll be texting over the weekend, but it's going to be great just to kind of follow along with that.
Yeah, buddy. I'll be keeping you updated. I got the spotting scope with the mag view on it.
Nice.
So I'll be taking some good footage hopefully and potentially even a kill shot. Maybe one of my buddies or
Yeah.
my buddies will get mine. So yeah, hoping to come back with some footage for you.
Yeah. Which how sweet is that, dude? That spotting scope just sending us pictures of like shooting arrows in the backyard and doing all that. I mean,
Dude,
you got to just
let's
love that.
talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
this Vortex Viper, I think it's 25 or 35 to 65
Okay.
magnification with the
Yeah.
85 millimeter glass on the front of it.
Okay.
This thing is unbelievable. If
Yeah.
anybody's on the fence about pulling the trigger on one of these things, I headed maybe 15 minutes from my house the other night. It was the edge of some public that I've been keeping my eye on,
Sure.
and I throw that thing on my truck window. I got the window mount and put the phone up to it. Couldn't tell you, stroke of luck, but right where I set that thing, there was some deer, and
Nice.
I showed you that buck, and this was the first time I window mounted this Vortex spotting scope and
And
came
there it
out on
is.
top with finding a really nice target buck for the fall. So it
Yeah.
it it came out to be three-quarters of a mile away that I did the distance on OnX to see where he
Holy
was.
crap.
And if it wasn't so hot, it would have been a clearer picture, but those heat thermals kind of
Sure.
make it a little bit blurry. But still, I mean, I was able to spot that buck, a few does he was with, which was interesting for this time of the year. But at the end of the day, man, there's no way I would have seen those with my binos. So that
Right.
spotting scope's a game changer.
Well, you just got to buy a drone. I mean, I don't know what you're doing with the
Yeah,
spotting scope.
or I can borrow your drone.
Yeah, or we'll just go do it. We'll fly that
Yeah.
sucker around and because that's what's tough right now. Like all of the ag fields around me, I would say 9 out of 10 of them are all cornfields. And it's like the time you want to be glassing at night, but you can't
Right.
see anything unless you're up above them because everything's so tall that I mean, even the biggest whitetails would be lucky to kind of like surpass the height
Oh,
of corn right
yeah.
now. Um, so it's yeah, I mean, I've just been doing that. Like I'll go for a drive and I actually wanted that night that I sent you guys that video of that nice buck by me. I
Yeah.
was trying to capture the storm coming in, and I wanted to do it over Silver Lake. So I took the drone and I kind of flew it up, and I'm like, this blows, dude. It's all cloudy, nothing's happening. I'm gonna just go check some of these fields that I know there are deer there, and some of the creek beds, and like we got this riverway that runs through. Um, I'm like, well, we're just gonna see what happens. And sure enough, there's like 9 deer in one field, and they must be pretty young because they're like out there frolicking around and doing whatever. And I'm like, oh man, how great is this? And then you just fly it over to the next field. All of a sudden, you spot a couple brown bodies out there. I'm like, look at this thing. I'm for sure getting video of him. So
Yeah,
it's
that's awesome, buddy. I did want to ask you about that. So
yeah,
like I've been thinking because I put out a couple cameras.
okay,
I've been glassing and I wanted to get your take on this. So
okay,
some research I've been doing is like early season catching bucks in their summer pattern still is arguably a better chance at killing your target buck than waiting for the rut and having them be unpredictable.
okay.
What's your take on that? Are you really kind of invested in your summer scouting with the drone and glassing as much as catching fresh sign in the fall, late October, going into November?
Well, so kind of a couple different things with that. So one, I met with a prospect of mine last year, and the guy runs a distillery. They've got like 4 different family farms, kind of like Appleton area or like Fox Valley area, and he's like, I haven't not killed my target buck on opening morning the last 8 years
Of bow season.
of bow season.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, that's awesome because you shot a nice buck the last 8 years.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking, like, what do you do then for the rest of the year? Like, you don't have I mean, you have another tag, but sure, you can go waterfowl. Sure, you can do like fall turkey. Sure, you can do all those things. But isn't part of like you spend all this time planting and scouting and trying to get lanes cut and all that stuff. I wouldn't want don't get me wrong. If it was either shoot your target buck on opening morning or don't shoot one at all, I would shoot one on opening morning.
Right.
But part of what we love is the chase a little bit, and like having to sit in cold weather or having to sit in not optimal temps or whatever it is, whether that's hot or cold or raining or dry or humid or buggy or whatever it is. Um so for me, like what my season last year was perfect, less the fact that I did not shoot a buck, but I I loved shooting a doe early. Like I shot a doe on the 4th day of the season last year,
Yep.
and it was like 1,000 degrees outside. So it's like scramble city trying to get it all
Yeah.
figured out then. Um, but I loved that because it gave me the opportunity to just be able to do whatever I wanted for a while and watch cameras and see what's going on and not have to worry about, oh shoot, I still have all of my tags left. Like if I shoot 1 deer a year, that's plenty. Cause like Sherry will eat hot sticks, but like I'll eat the back straps and all that stuff, and we'll, make brats and all that. But it was such a big stress relief to shoot a deer early last year. So fortunately for me, Mr. Paul Wagner has so many deer. He's like, we got to shoot 12 again this year. We got to shoot 12 deer again this year. And I'm like, dude, I'll shoot deer. I'll bring my dad out to shoot deer. I'll shoot as many does as you want. And if I don't take it, I have clients that ask for deer or like for sticks or whatever it is. And it's tough though, because how do you like like I said, don't get me wrong. If it was shoot your target buck on opening morning or don't shoot one, I'd shoot it early. But part of it is kind of that chase. So I don't know how you feel about that, but it would be hard to do that.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to for me is I've hunted public lands a lot in comparison to private, at least for
Sure.
deer. And one thing that I run into is you know, and I'm not alone on this, everybody runs into it, is late season pressure.
Sure.
And late season pressure throws such a curveball into your ability to predict the deer's movement.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've sort of overlooked is the summer pattern of a buck that spills over into those first few opening weeks of bow season,
Okay.
and not necessarily putting the emphasis of that time 2 to 3 weeks before that pressure hits, of spending in the woods as much as I think I should have been. So to your
Okay.
point, man, I'll spend a day in the woods and not see a deer and love it. Like that's why I keep going out every year, is just being in the woods, turkey season, deer season, pheasant, laying in a field in a ground blind, hunting
Sure.
ducks on water. Like, man, just being outside is what I love. But if I can if I can be outside uh and still kill my target buck in the first few seasons of the first few weeks of the season, to your point, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Right.
And there's the pressure piece and sort of the unpredictability. Obviously, everybody deals with it, but I think this year more than any other year, I'm going to spend more time in the early part of the season in the woods than I
Sure.
have in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Just get your thermocell.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
so
Can I
bad
actually
out there.
borrow
That's like
yours?
the
Because I gotta
hardest
buy
part.
one.
Yeah, it's the worst part of early season. I mean,
Yeah.
the day that I shot my deer, that early season doe, I put sunscreen on because it was it was like 88 degrees. And I had made a move because we had this doe that was like the nanny doe, the bully doe of the property, and they would always come out on the far south side, and she would never get inside of 60 yards. So I'm like, okay, I can play that game. So I literally bought like just a little swivel seat, and I took it out there and I matted down some of the prairie grass. And I was just sitting in 5 foot tall prairie grass and kind of moved some stuff out of the way. And I'm like, I mean, I can fight this fight with you. I will sit here and I will wait for you, until I couldn't. And then I went to the redneck because I was just getting destroyed out there. But, yeah, so it comes with its pluses and minuses. I mean,
For
but I'll
sure.
tell you this, the first like 20-degree drop, I will be in a tree stand.
Yeah.
There's not a chance that I won't be, because that's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah.
It's just,
Absolutely.
yeah.
What was your take hunting from a ground blind versus a tree stand? Was that your first deer from the ground?
I ended up actually sitting in the redneck after that
Is that
because it was just
raised
so
though,
buggy.
or is that
So
on the ground?
it's up in the air. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So
Okay.
which has its own challenges. I don't know. Have you ever hunted from a redneck or like an elevated blind?
No, never an elevated blind, just a
Okay.
tree stand.
Yeah. Um they make it look so easy on all these hunting
Right.
shows. Like, yeah, you just go sit in a redneck and then, or like an elevated blind, and you could just open the window, you shoot your animal, and you move on from there. Dude, they hear everything.
Right.
So you still have to be super, super careful. If you move your chair, the bottom rumbles. So it's like, okay, what is that noise? There is actually a lot more that goes into it than people just think, oh, yeah, well, you're completely protected. And like, you have to think, you don't wear camouflage, you wear black, you know, because you're inside of there, it's dark, and you don't want them to be able to see your silhouette of this like light color or tan or whatever in the blind, because that'll stick out more than just wearing all black. Um, yeah, but it was, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice, especially
Well,
getting into
right.
late season, dude. We'll just fire up the Mr. Buddy and
Oh
bring the
yeah.
ice scraper or crack the windows a couple times just to kind of balance out the temperature in there. I think it's the biggest game changer for late season because you can be out of the elements then.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And one thing that honestly I have not practiced enough probably is shooting my bow out of a ground blind.
Sure.
I mean, thinking of your situation, picking the angle out of an elevated redneck
Mm-hmm.
to push through that space you have for that window at an elevated position down on the perfect angle is not
Right.
easy,
Yeah.
um, shooting out of a 4 to 8 inch window out of a ground blind at a pronghorn is something that's going to be new to me. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of new adventures, man. New heights for hunting, if you will. New
Hell yeah.
challenges is what it's all
Let's
about.
go. Um, yeah, I've just, to be honest, I've just become accustomed to, I'm going to just shoot out of the corner window because it's floor to ceiling. And then I don't
Oh,
have
there
to
you
worry
go.
about
There
it.
you go.
So if it's not in the corner, I'm probably not shooting it.
Just
And
gonna
it's
wait.
also
Just gonna
honestly the
wait.
easiest window to move, like, because
Yeah,
then you can just swing it open. You don't have to worry about latching it upwards and like all that stuff. It's too
nice.
tough. It's just getting into too much noise then. Let me see. Okay, so what are you? Let me just see here. We've talked about a bunch of these already. Are you worried at all? I mean, you're a fitter guy, like a thin guy. It's not like you're like my fat arse going out there and like trekking around. Like, are you concerned at all about like how much you're going to be walking and like putting miles on and doing any of that stuff? Or like, have you done anything in terms of like taking the baby and mom for a walk or like doing anything like that in order to like kind of prep yourself for this? Or did you get new boots, or was there anything else that went into your preparation in advance of going out there?
Yeah, so it's not in my opinion super physically taxing
Okay.
if it's out of the 90 plus degree scenario, right? If you know going into this summer, I would shoot at hot parts of the day on the weekends. I would shoot at when the humidity was super high, although it's going to be
Sure.
dry out there. I was just trying to put myself in honestly sweaty scenarios. Uh, Bugs flying in my face because obviously around water holes, you're going to get flies, you're going to get
Right.
mosquitoes. So, I definitely tried to put myself in a similar situation, although in Wisconsin to Wyoming, it's going to be pretty hard to
Right.
replicate it.
Yeah.
Uh, to your point about the boots, some of these guys I've been watching honestly have tennis shoes on. And I'm
Okay.
like, well, that makes sense. It's hot. They're walking a lot.
It's super
Well,
dry.
right. Super dry. You're not going to need any waterproof
Yeah.
boots or anything. But I started to look up, AI is pretty savvy these days. So
Right.
started to look up this exact zip code, what the vegetation's like, what the climate's like. And there's a lot of cactus.
Okay.
You got snakes. So one thing I didn't want to run into is a scenario of putting a cactus through a soft sole shoe
Right.
and having having to be laid up during the hunt. So I went out, got some Under Armour. They're almost like military boots. I think they weigh about 16 ounces of boot, so they're really light.
Yeah.
Um,
I know
Hard
exactly which
sole.
ones you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they were on social media. I said, all right, let's check these out. Ran them
Yeah.
through AI. Um, and it checked out. So got those, started to put some miles on them, scouting around my house there for
Sure.
whitetail. Really like them. Really like them. Super light. So I'm not gonna feel like I'm lugging around heavy boots.
Yeah.
Uh, So looking forward to that. But no, man, I mean, we're honestly catching a break in the heat, which is gonna be nice. So spotting and stalking with the ultimate predator um female decoy that I got to mount to the front of my
Nice.
bow. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So if we do spot and stalk, I'm gonna be able to get mobile and not worry about the
Be able to
cactus
do
as
that,
much.
not have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what are you most excited about? What are you most nervous about? You can tackle that whichever way you want.
What I'm most excited about is just to be out there. And that's
Sure.
probably, cliche, but for me, being in a new piece of public, being in a new place in general, to hunt whatever it is the most exhilarating part of the trip for me. I used to live in Illinois. They have huge chunks of public. I drive 4 or 5 hours south, end up in a new piece, and it was like everything is new. I've never been here, and
Right.
I absolutely love that feeling. I don't know what it is. I've always been that way. So that's what I'm most excited about. Most nervous, if a Boone and Crockett comes into 70 and gets hung up task, I'm gonna have to sling one, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be mental. I know I can do it physically.
Sure.
What I need to make sure is my heart rate's calm, my anchor points are there. I'm relaxed, and I just believe in the process that I've been doing for the last, 4 to 6 months, really.
Yeah.
If we think about Winter League, and just trust that I've done enough. And yeah, am I nervous about it? Yeah. But am I confident enough to know that I can do it? Absolutely. So comes with a little bit of nerves, but you drive 13 hours and you got one opportunity. You better make it count.
Yeah. Yeah. What a day of travel for you.
It's
Oh
been good
man.
though, man. Hey, there's no shortage of corn for the entire nation on this drive that I'm making.
Oh, I
Holy
can
cow,
only
dude.
imagine. Yeah. Um okay, so I'm gonna give you some stats here about Wyoming pronghorn.
Hit me.
It is for sure pronghorn country. It's the largest pronghorn population in North America. Routinely leads the country in pronghorn hunting opportunity and harvest. As you said, it's the state mammal. Um, they can hit roughly 55 to 60 miles an hour, making them the fastest land mammal in North America. Despite everyone calling them antelope, they aren't truly antelope. They're the only surviving member of the whatever and are native only to North America. So that's kind of interesting. As you said, their eyesight is phenomenal. Um, in open Wyoming country, getting out of their line of sight is often the most important and most important than simply playing the wind like you would with a whitetail. Which is no surprise when they have like a 360 camera on their head. I mean, they can
Yeah.
pretty much see everything. Um, Wyoming hunting can involve very long glassing distances. Finding the animal may be relatively easy. Figuring out how to cross a mile of nearly featureless terrain without being seen is the problem. Shooting tends to be a little bit longer range. Wyoming's pronghorn country isn't necessarily mountainous, which is kind of nice. I mean, you think about like elk hunting and all that, like that's where it really gets to be physically demanding.
Right.
Um, a lot of it is sagebrush, rolling prairie, draws, mesas, and huge open basins. So that's kind of nice. And then some of these animals migrate roughly 150 miles between the Upper Green River Basin and the Grand Teton area, one of the best known big game migration corridors in North America. And then what I was really hoping to get from this is like, what is a normal success rate? But I did not get that answer.
Yeah, I've actually looked that up. So, surprisingly, rifle success is, I didn't think it was going to be this high, but it's close to like 87, 90%.
Sure.
And when it comes to archery, it's closer to about 60.
Which is
Now,
still pretty good.
it's pretty dang good. I agree. If you sit over water, your odds go up. You're just going
Yeah.
to be sitting for longer. Spot
Right.
and stalk, obviously you run into the everything you just said. It's
Mhm.
flat in this country. There's, like I said, the reservoir north of the property that there's going to be some creek beds and some break in the terrain that allow us to potentially get close on a stalk if we choose to.
Sure.
But really, it's like, what do you want to do? You want to sit and wait and watch and feel like it's, opening opening day of gun season in Wisconsin, waiting for your
Right.
buck? Or do you want to get a little mobile and take advantage of, the country you're in and the environment and the opportunity you have? So probably, if I had to guess, we're going to do a little bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah, which kind of makes it fun though. You know,
Oh yeah.
you do, I mean, you could just adapt on the fly and not I think that's actually one of the problems that I have is that I'm like so dead set in my ways that I don't improve. Which sounds bad, but
How many days straight did you sit in that same stand
God,
this season?
that godforsaken
For-
tree. I think it was like 7 days, dude. And then I was like, all right, I'm seeing the same 6 deer. I guess I should probably move. That was such a growth moment for me. And I know you know this because I'm like, bro, I just sit in this tree. I'm not really sure what you want me to say here. And
I
you
think
and
like day
Snuff,
2 or 3, I'm like, you need to move. You
I was like,
need
well,
to
I'll
get
just give
out
it
of there.
another day. And then like a week later, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna move tomorrow. I'm gonna finally make a move.
Uh,
Which I'm glad I did because I started it, it's like you get settled. I mean, the hardest part was just finding a tree, but I got settled in this super nice area that I would have never normally experienced, just like you said. And yeah, I mean, I didn't end up killing a deer over there, but I knew that if I saw one within range, I would for sure be able to make it happen because it was a nice, like, just kind of surrounding.
right.
Um, but I think that is where you just have to run on the fly with it because I mean it could change every day. It could change morning to afternoon. One might just be out of sight, and you're like, "All right, we're getting out. We're going after it." I mean, I learned that so much this year for turkey season, where I'm like, "This son of a bitch, I'm going after it. I'm getting out of the blind. And I'm running after this damn thing. And if I have to shoot it in the air, I'm going to shoot it in the air."
I think we've all done that though. I mean,
Yeah,
I've sat in the same tree for 4 or 5 days because I saw really nice bucks on a camera close by and I thought I had them figured out on this gas
right.
line. Well, I didn't see one of them.
Yep,
And to your point, what I realized is they could have been 100 yards away every single day on a trail that they just got, accustomed to using
sure.
over the course of the previous 3 weeks before I got there.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna do one thing this season, it's sit sooner and sit in new spots more frequently
Okay.
and where that sign is because I can't rely on the tree that I think is gonna get me that deer. I have to rely on the sign that shows me where I can get that deer.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna keep relying on that tree that I think is lucky because I shot buck there one year.
Hey,
uh,
you're not alone, man. Not
I
alone at
know I'm
all.
not, and I think it's so funny because it's like you could just move and sit in a different spot. You do realize that, right? I mean, the tree stand comes off of the tree.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, okay, so I don't think I really have anything else about that. I mean, it'll be exciting to catch up with you afterwards, but um tell me a little bit about like what are you hoping for your whitetail season this year? So once you get back, it's like a nice little appetizer for what's to come. We'll be just like 3 or 4 weeks out from the opener when you're back. Are you like dialed in with your e-scouting right now? So for all of the listeners, Noah, you kind of mentioned this, but you were in Illinois and now this is like really your first full season back. I can't even remember. You guys moved in early this year. So it'll be your first season fully back in the state of Wisconsin. You're in a completely new area. Um are you super excited? Are you well, no, cuz you guys were in an apartment for a while. So maybe you did have some time down here, but um tell me what your outlook is for the whitetail season and kind of how you're planning to attack that with all the new area you're in.
Yeah, good question. I mean, for the first time, I have found a target buck that has kept me up. I've watched multiple videos I have of him before bed, when I'm brushing my teeth in the morning. I
Yeah,
mean, this thing for the first time ever, I've found a deer that I've wanted to devote a ton of time to. Now,
sure.
I have a 13-month-old baby, I have a wife, I have a family, so that's definitely going to be my priority, but when I have the opportunity, man, I'm gonna be trying to track down that deer.
Yeah.
And one interesting thing is like I'm pretty sure he's living in a 13-acre chunk of woods. Like it is
Okay.
not a large piece of woods.
Yeah.
Surrounded by bean field, he's got water behind him, and I think this is just a perfect nook that he's found his summer pattern to be. So I basically have one of two options, and I'm probably going to do them both, but I'm going to knock on that farmer's door,
Yeah.
see if he minds if I hunt that 13-acre chunk. And if he does mind, as in I can't,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be trying to figure out, okay, what does he do next to the public? Does he frequent the thick corridor that I found? There's like a, I call it Buckthorn Alley. There's a Buckthorn Alley that kind of feeds off of the bean field connected to that small acreage of timber that he's on. But
Yeah.
back to my point about summer patterns, man, if I can get in there before he shifts into potentially going a mile away, 2 miles
Right.
away, and just getting into his rut action, he might just summer here. Like I have no
Yeah.
idea. So I have to capitalize on it. He's on that bean field. Now I am kind of worried that once that bean field gets cut, there's not going to be a lot for him to do in 13 acres and coming out
Sure.
not being able to eat. So that's another thing. As soon as those beans turn yellow, it's going to be a scenario of like, okay, what does this guy do? Does he, shift over? Does he shift super far away? What does that look like? So I've been thinking about all of this, coming up to the opener here, but God, do I love it, man. I
Yeah.
absolutely love trying to figure these things out. Half of it's the chase and I'm all into it.
Yeah. Well, and for a lot of us, that's a big part of it. I mean, it's fun just to run cameras, and every time you get an alert, you're like, what's going on? What's out there? You get this one random set of deer that come through, and you're like, well, I'm probably never going to see that one again. And it's just so much fun, man. It's what brings us back. It's why we shoot our bows all year round, so that when we get into that situation, we feel confident and that we can capitalize on it. Um, but it's gonna be here before we know it. It's
I
like,
know, man.
how
I
is it
know.
even? I was just looking at.
We got waterfowl season. The geese are going to be flying.
Yep.
The ducks are going to be coming down. I'm
I'm
thrilled, man.
excited to add you to our group of
Oh yeah,
somebody that can waterfowl with us around
yeah.
here, because
I
we
appreciate
can
it,
always
man.
use an extra gun, and especially if you're a better shot than us, we'll be all right. Um,
Hey, chasing ducks down on the Mississippi, man. Holy cow! I'm
I
excited.
know. It's going to be so much fun. 29 days, 15 hours, 20 minutes, and 18 seconds
There
until
we
6
go.
a.m. on September 12th.
There we go.
So, not that I'm counting, not that I have a timer running, but, um, yeah, man. So, I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know if you have anything else you want to touch on, or if there's anything else you've been kind of racking your mind about for your trip out there while you're driving. And I mean, we could go down like so many different paths, but we're already at an hour. So if you have anything else you want to touch on with that,
I'm good, man. Again, really appreciate the opportunity. Love listening to you guys. You guys are doing great stuff. I'm excited to see what you guys dive into in the fall. Deer season, waterfowl season. Hopefully we have some good luck and some good
yeah,
stories to share.
yeah, it's gonna be here in like no time. I mean, we're gonna have. So is the early teal season early September?
I know that there's an early season for goose.
And that's the
Honestly,
same time. It's the same
yeah,
overlap.
yeah.
Um,
I'm excited for that. Obviously, it's a lot of local geese, but it just gets you in the mode for when the big flocks start migrating down. It's a fun
oh
time.
yeah, September 1st through the 9th is
Yep.
early season. Oh my god, it's gonna be here so soon.
Bust out those decoys, my man.
Just so excited about this. Okay, awesome. How can everybody find you? I don't remember what your Instagram is offhand, but I'll make sure to include that in the comments and everything if people want to follow along while you're out there. Um, yeah, how can people find you? Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want to plug for that?
Yeah, man, honestly, I'm not on social that much. I don't really post grip and grins. Not that I don't like it, it's just not something that I prioritize. So
Sure.
if you have me back on for a recap of the trip, hopefully it's a good recap of a nice picture of a pronghorn. That's probably how they'll be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. I'm just gonna make one quick note about that. It's funny. I was just a guest on a podcast last week, a guy from like Southern Illinois, and he's like, so like, how did you get into all this? And I was like, you know what, man, like I started Wisco bow hunting because I wanted to have like a separation of church and state, that I could post whatever I wanted on my personal page, if that's concerts, anniversaries, birthdays, stuff we're doing, whatever's going on. But I wanted to have like a completely separate outlet that was everything for hunting. Like, well, it could be anything related to that: fishing, hunting, shooting bows, planting food plots, whatever. And I guess that's really what kind of catapulted me into this. But it's like I hear you on that, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to post on my personal page, and it's like that's your avenue. So to have some of that stuff there is, it's like, I don't know, I don't want people to know some stuff about me on my personal
Absolutely.
page.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can follow my like uh, internet page. I'm not really
Sure.
outdoor
Sure.
page. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, good, man. Well, I appreciate it. I hope you have safe travels the rest of the way out there. I think from your screenshot you sent me earlier, you're probably going to get there like 5 or 6 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's showing about 5:30. So yeah,
Okay.
man, it'll be about 2-3 hours of light. We'll see what's going on. Put some glass out there and see what we can see.
Nice. Well, good, man. Well, I hope you have safe travels the rest of the way, and then getting all the way back. I hope you kill one early and it takes the stress off, and you can shoot some coyotes or whatever else you want while
Thank
you're
you,
out
buddy.
there. But no, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm glad you kind of pinch hit here on short notice, and I figured what better way to waste a couple minutes while you're on the
Yeah.
road. So, yeah, man, thanks again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, man. We'll
All right,
talk to
man.
you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye.
See ya.